許さーい。貴様鷹の目だな。特製マギー玉消し飛ぶが整いました。マギー玉とかけまして水道工事で大活躍と解きますのどっか。
What's up, everybody? We're rocking good old Buggy against a deck I normally play. That's Smoker across the table here, and not really the kind of matchup I want to see right now. Don't want to be going up against a removal heavy deck. We'll see how good Smoker is now that Smoker's lost Ice Age and Gecko Moria. Pretty excited though to see some upgrades to the Navy package in EBO2. Definitely going to be trying Smoker out once we get the Sengokus, but we ended up taking second here. I think the Smoker ended up winning the die roll. Wasn't really sure what I preferred, and so just decided to take me off of first. In hindsight, I kind of like going second, and honestly, it kind of hurts Smoker even more to go second, so I'm not too upset about it. But we do pull up the Galdino and manage to pick up a Mihawk. I love Promo Buggy, but Promo Buggy not too good in this deck. It can slow down some of those 3 and 4 drops, right? This deck runs Kuzans, runs Hinas, stuff like that from potentially attacking. Also stops a Kuzan from being able to -4 something, which is pretty good. But for the most part, not very useful in this deck. And we're going to see a huge 9k swing, and I just go ahead and take that one. And I'm going to go to our 4-Dawn turn. Would love to see a good old Pilaf come out here, and I think we see exactly what we need. A good old Pilaf. This is what I love to do going second on my second turn, is just crack off a Pilaf. And I'm playing against black, so I don't have to worry about any puddings, and we can make that a hand just as big as we want it here. And we're gonna swing 6k. Opponent's gonna take that one as well for life even here. I always say the first life is typically free to take, and we're gonna see what Smoker is gonna do here on their 5-Dawn turn. They could potentially play out like a this is usually like the Tashigi turn, but I play 5 drops and above, so nothing for them to KO just yet. But on this next turn here, I'm going to start flooding the board to the best of my ability. So we'll see how well Smoker can adapt to that. Smoker's going to go ahead and just activate Leader Effect, give -1 to the Galdino, and swing a big old 7k here. And that's 2k, 1k potentially out of my hand. I have 2 2ks and a 1k. One of my 1ks is something I want to potentially put into play, and we do end up finding Promo Buggy. Promo Buggy will allow us to put the Mihawk into play next turn, and we see a good old Rebecca. Rebecca's gonna pull back a Kuzan from the yard and put a Tashigi into play. And now for me, that Tashigi is a bit of a threat in my eyes. Tashigi is going to potentially allow them to get to a better cost reduction to start KOing some of my threats, and any sort of repeatable cost reduction is something I definitely want to get rid of. And we do have 2 good old 3000 worlds in hand, enabling us to bottom deck a 5 drop or less. But we're gonna go ahead and swing 6k into Tashigi here. And Smoker just goes ahead and take that. I do believe that would have been a pretty free block for good old Rebecca, but I guess there was some fear that I would have potentially just stacked a bunch on Mr. 3 to swing into the Tashigi. But I wanted that Tashigi dead for sure. If my opponent had blocked, I likely would I have done it? Maybe. I maybe would have done it, swung into the Tashigi with the Galdino, but I think I really what I want to do this turn is kind of develop into a pretty solid board here. And so I do have the Promo Buggy, likely what we're going to use here. I do also see the Croc in hand, but we're going to go ahead and pitch 10-drop Buggy. I always love pitching the 10-drop Buggy early, especially against a black deck, because I know I'm probably not going to get to the point where I'm going to have enough characters on board for that Buggy to stick around. But we're going to see Promo Buggy into a Mihawk, putting a 6 or less cross-guild character into play. Mihawk going to draw 2, trash 1, nice little 7,000 power blocker for me to work with here. And trying to decide what we want to pitch here. Potentially eyeing one of the 3000 worlds, but might want to be keeping those around, as there's going to be blockers. We might see a Kuzan this next turn. We definitely want to try to deal with some of these mid-game threats that are going to be minusing down some action here. So we'll see what my opponent ends up doing here. Not having Ice Age actually makes me feel a little bit more comfortable in this matchup than it did pre-Ice Age nerf or pre-Ice Age ban, because being able to get rid of 5 and 6 costs maybe a little bit harder for Smoker. Yes, they've still got Hina. Yes, they've still got Tashigi, but they don't really have a whole lot of other like cheap reduction, right? You got Suru, but I don't know if this Smoker list is running what I've seen some other black decks run, which is the Patchwork, which is like a -3 Dressrosa event. Man, they really need to give Navy a cost reduction event that's Navy locked, right? So all these other black decks can't abuse it until it gets banned. The Navy has lost 2 of its events in the last year. Two other black decks just abusing it. But we're gonna see here what they're gonna go for. This is Kuzan into a 9k swing here. I could Mihawk 2k 1k out of it here. I potentially want to keep that Daz Bones in hand. Daz Bones is going to be something I could put into play off of the good old Croc in my hand. I want to try to get as many characters on board as possible. And we're going to go 2k. Man, I would really love to give the 1k here, but I think we have to go 2k because I do want to have a pretty decent target off of the Daz Bones. Now, I know I could, especially in this instance, I think that's just better. Because I can Croc into Daz Bones draw 2, trash 1, and we're gonna go back to my turn here. Kuzan is a bit of a threat. Now I have 2 decisions here. I could completely ignore the Kuzan and instead go for just a big like swing play, right? Just keep filling up the board, swinging pretty heavy. But that Kuzan, if they manage to take out the Buggy, that Kuzan could also just start wreaking some havoc on me here. Notably, Promo Buggy stops the Kuzan from attacking, which Kuzan's ability needs it to attack to apply -4. But I'm a little bit fearful here. I am on my 8-Don curve, so if I decide to go for the bottom deck of it here, I will not be able to establish anything else on board, right? So it's either play out some characters or bottom deck the Kuzan. And I think I kind of err on the side of caution a little more than most players would in this. And so you can see by the way I attach 3-Don to Mr. 3 that I'm going to go for the 3000 Worlds just to ensure my safety here against any kind of minusing nonsense taking out my board. And we're going to see just a good old 1k Tashigi. You're going to swing another 6k at lead here. Likely just going to climb up the ladder, go to 5k, 6k, 7k, just to try to see if my opponent will give me either cards from hand or a Rebecca to blocker. Now we're going to swing a 7k here. And I think especially with Gecko Moria no longer being in the format, Rebecca is a lot more valuable than she used to be, right? But Rebecca was pretty throwable. You could throw her away pretty often just because you knew you'd be getting it back. But in this specific world, often you're not going to be getting it back just as easily. And yeah, we do get a life there off of my opponent. And yeah, the Kuzan bottom decked at the end of the turn. And yeah, gonna go back to my opponent's turn. We're likely gonna see a jump in time here. My camera stopped recording randomly. Now it's been doing this somewhat, and I've actually lost a few videos because of it. Very frustrating. But we're gonna see a jump, and basically what happens on my opponent's turn is plays like a Sengoku. I think he plays a Sengoku or something. There's like a. Actually, let's just jump to it. Hold on. All right, we're back, and yeah, a whole turn sequence jump, but I'm pretty sure I remember what happened. He played down a Kaido. The Kaido took out my 7-drop Buggy, and then on my turn, I played out the Crocodile into the Daz Bones, did some swinging, did manage, I believe, to take out the Rebecca. Another Rebecca came down, played a Sengoku, tapped, and here we are at this point with the rest of the Don. So 6 Don up for my opponent, 2 life now, as I did a bit of swinging on the last turn, and we'll see what he ends up doing. Playing out 2 Brooks here, Brook -1 on the Galdino to take that one out, Brook -1 on the Daz Bones. Not enough Don to be doing anything else with. We're going to see a 5k swing. I only have 2 cards in hand because I had to use you might be wondering where the good old Kaido went. That's because I bottom decked it with a 10-drop Buggy, and that's why I have a whole lot less cards in hand at this point. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to build up enough of a board for 10-drop Buggy to stay on board, but we did use it as a pseudo Red Rock to get rid of it. And we're gonna go back to my turn. We do have a Pilaf in hand. We must have picked that up off the top, potentially thinking about just immediately playing the Pilaf, but we do also have a bit more here to work with. I got that still 3000 Worlds in hand, but not a whole lot else. I think the Pilaf might be a good start here, but I am kind of thinking if I want to bait some counter out of hand first. 5-6 cards in hand right now to work with. I am at 2 life, and they're at 2 life here. Not a whole lot on board, but those Brooks will potentially, combined with some cost reduction, start taking out some of my board. So I am running out of time to keep up with this smoker here. So I think I have to make some pretty intense brash plays here. Instead, we're going to go for 3,000 worlds. We're going to 3,000 worlds of the Rebecca. Just try to maybe just going to go pedal to the metal here. And instead, just do some big swinging. I think we're going to save the peel-off for last here. We're going to start with a 7k at lead here. See what my opponent does. We can go 7k, 7k, 7k. 4 7ks this turn, which is pretty brutal into a 6-card hand. But we'll see how many 2ks Smoker manages to pick up. We see a take on that one. And now we're going to likely just go ahead and swing another 7k here. 7k at lead. And if he takes this other one, it makes me wonder what's in hand. But I see a 1k and a 2k come out of the hand here. And now we're going to swing another 7k, opting to leave the Mihawk as last here. And 2 more 1k, 2k out of hand. And now, I can't go for lethal anymore. But hey, we've still got a pretty solid play of swinging another 7k into my opponent here. Going to take that one. And then I would use the other 3 to just play out the peel-off. Peel-off's going to allow us to draw 2. And pass back to my opponent. A bit of counter in hand, and now Smoker has to decide, right? He's got 2 options. Well, really 1 option, but if he has some cost reduction, he could take out a few of my threats with Brook while also still pushing damage, right? But it depends what's in his hand here. If he sees some Hinas, that could get a little dangerous for me. Like a Hina into just a Brook swing can take out the Daz Bones. A leader activation could also take out a Mihawk instead, right? Giving it minus 6 with the Brook swing and a Hina. But double Hina would be pretty gross here. Double Hina would be 6 Dawn plus a Dawn on leader. Which would be 7 Dawn. You still have 3 Dawn left. Could swing 5k, 6k. And if you stack it in such a way, you could also give leader plus 1k. So it could swing 5k, 6k, 7k. Take out my Mihawk and my Daz Bones. Would be an absolutely amazing play for Smoker to do here to help kind of take control of board. But again, that just sets him up for a big swing. Me setting him to 0 life this last turn was incredibly crucial to basically force Smoker to try to go for game here, especially if he doesn't see a Rebecca blocker here. 4 Dawn set aside, so a Rebecca blocker could potentially be coming down here. But we'll see what my opponent ends up doing. It's a bit of a tight spot here. Unfortunately, I've been able to keep flooding the board, and they haven't nearly been able to keep up with KOing here. And I think that's one of the big things of just losing Ice Age and potentially not seeing any Hinas right now, which is pretty unfortunate for the Smoker. Picking up the Sengoku for a second led me to believe that the Sengoku would be swinging at me. So we'll see what he ends up doing. Spraying out the Dawn here. I do have like 2k, 1k, 1k in hand or something like that. 2k, 2k, 1k or something. We're going to take the first hit to 7k, minus 1 to the Daz Bones. Likely we're going to see another 7k with Brook. And for me, I'm just going to take every hit I can until he tries to go for lethal and just counter out of it here. We're going to see another 7k. I think the 7k is going at life here. We'll see how I end up countering it out here. We're just going to take that one too. Another 2k off life. And now if my opponent decides with 3 2ks in hand, that's a 9k swing. 2k, 2k, 1k cleans up the game here. And opponent just passes back to me. There's nothing stopping me from doing a big swing here. We're just going to quickly draw a card here. You can see my glasses kind of make an appearance there. And we're going to swing 17k at lead, and that's going to clean up game here. Did see a 2-cost Kuzan in hand, but unfortunately not able to establish that. And yeah, sorry about that jump cut. Unfortunately, my camera's having some issues. We'll try to get that fixed. But anyways, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, definitely subscribe. We're looking to hit 1,000 subscribers by this summer. And have a good one, everybody.